More than 1,000 years ago, before many of the world's greatest empires reached their peak, a kingdom from southern India was preparing to change the history of the Indian Ocean forever. Long before the Cholas became masters of the seas, their greatest strength flowed from the fertile waters of the Kaveri. Here, generation after generation transformed the river's bounty into thriving villages, prosperous markets, and a civilization whose wealth would one day fuel one of the greatest empires in Indian history. Within these fortified walls, every decision shaped the kingdom's future. Scribes preserved history, ministers governed wisely, and loyal guards protected a realm quietly preparing for greatness. Beyond these palace walls, powerful kingdoms battled for supremacy. The Pallavas, Pandyas, Cheras, and Rashtrakutas dominated the land, while the once glorious Cholas struggled to reclaim their forgotten legacy. Yet history often begins in the most unexpected places. Along the fertile banks of the Kaveri, a new dawn was quietly rising. The true wealth of Thanjavur was not found within its walls, but in the hands of its people. Farmers nurtured the fertile fields, women sowed the seeds of tomorrow, and craftsmen shaped a thriving city. Their labor brought prosperity to the land, while their respect for their king reflected the unity that bound the kingdom together. Every great empire begins with a single decision. Beneath the ancient banyan tree, Vijayalaya gathered his most trusted companions to shape the future of the Chola kingdom. Preparations were complete. With the blessings of his people and the loyalty of those beside him, Vijayalaya set out on a journey that would change South Indian history forever. Though small in number, they carried the hopes of an ancient dynasty. From the hills of Vazthapala, Vijayalaya gazed upon the fertile lands of the Kaveri, the Chola. Every village, every field, and every river reflected the prosperity that had made Thanjavur the heart of the region. As the day drew to a close, Thanjavur remained full of life. Farmers returned home, markets grew quiet, and the city welcomed another peaceful evening beneath the setting sun. The Kaveri was the lifeline of the Chola homeland. Its waters nourished the fields, sustained thriving communities, and laid the foundation for a civilization that would flourish for centuries. From fertile farms to skilled artisans, every corner of the Kaveri plains reflected dedication and prosperity. The wealth of the Chola was built not only by kings, but by the hard work of their people. The Kaveri carried more than water. It carried harvests, handcrafted goods, and the dreams of countless merchants, connecting villages and bringing prosperity to every corner of the Chola. Across the fertile plains of the Kaveri, the rhythm of life was guided by the seasons. Rich soil, flowing waters, and tireless hands transformed the landscape into one of southern India's greatest agricultural regions. Ingenious canals, reservoirs, and waterways carried the Kaveri's lifeblood across the countryside. Every drop was carefully managed, ensuring prosperity reached even the most distant fields. As the seasons changed, the fields answered with abundance. Golden harvests filled the granaries, providing not only food but the foundation for a thriving civilization. Prosperity echoed through the marketplaces, where farmers, merchants, and artisans exchanged goods from every corner of the region. Commerce became the heartbeat of everyday life. Behind every thriving city stood generations of skilled craftsmen. Their hands shaped
pottery, forged metal, carved stone, and wove textiles that reflected both beauty and purpose. Knowledge flourished alongside prosperity. Scholars preserved ancient wisdom on palm leaf manuscripts, ensuring that learning would guide future generations. Temples were far more than places of worship. They served as centers of learning, charity, culture, and community, bringing people together through faith and shared tradition. Festivals transformed the streets into vibrant celebrations. Music, dance, prayers, and joyful gatherings reflected a society united by devotion and gratitude. From sunrise to sunset, every occupation contributed to the prosperity of the land. Farmers, traders, artisans, and scholars worked together in remarkable harmony. Among those who admired this flourishing land was a noble traveler named Vijayalaya. He came not as a conqueror but as a thoughtful observer, eager to understand its people and their way of life. He walked quietly through villages and markets, watching ordinary lives unfold. In every smile, every craft, and every harvest, he discovered the true strength of the land. The cavalry carried more than water. It carried opportunity, connecting distant communities through fertile fields, peaceful waterways, and flourishing trade. Across the countryside, life moved with quiet purpose. Boats, roads, and marketplaces formed a network that united the region into one prosperous civilization. True greatness was shaped by patient hands. Every sculpture, every carving, and every crafted work reflected generations of knowledge, discipline, and artistic excellence. Each morning began with devotion and service. Within the temple kitchens, food was prepared with care, reminding every visitor that generosity was as sacred as worship itself. Beyond the winding waters of the Kaveri stood Thanjavur, a city surrounded by fertile fields and peaceful villages, where prosperity and tradition had flourished for generations. From the quiet hills overlooking the plains, Vijayalaya watched the land with admiration. Before history remembered his name, he first sought to understand the people who called it home. The Kaveri was the lifeline of this flourishing land. Its waters nourished the fields, while its roads and waterways united villages, temples, and marketplaces into one thriving world. Before its grand monuments were built, Thanjavur had already become one of the most prosperous cities of the Kaveri Plains. Its fertile lands, skilled people, and strategic location made it a place of extraordinary importance. Before he became a ruler, Vijayalaya became a listener. Walking among the people, he witnessed the values, resilience, and unity that gave this land its enduring strength. The Kaveri brought more than harvests. Its waters carried trade, opportunity, and livelihoods, weaving together the countryside and the city in an enduring bond of prosperity. Every great city carries memories beyond its walls. Through the voices of elders, the legacy of Thanjavur lived on, inspiring those who dreamed of its future. As the sun slipped below the horizon, Thanjavur settled into peaceful twilight. Beneath the glow of countless oil lamps, the city rested, unaware that a new chapter in its history was quietly approaching. At the heart of the Chola homeland stood Thanjavur, a city shaped by the steady rhythm of everyday life. Within its earthen walls, farmers, artisans, merchants, scholars, and temple communities worked together, each contributing to the prosperity of the land. Walking quietly among them, Vijayalaya observed more than a thriving city. He witnessed a civilization built upon knowledge, craftsmanship, devotion, and mutual respect. Every workshop echoed with skilled hands. Every marketplace reflected honest exchange. And every home preserved traditions passed from one generation to the next. Beyond the city, the waters of the Kaveri continued their timeless journey, nourishing fertile fields that had sustained countless families for generations. Roads connected villages, temples, and marketplaces, bringing together people whose lives were woven into a single shared heritage. As the sun slowly descended, Vijayalaya paused to look upon the land before him. In its rivers, its fields, and its people, he saw the enduring spirit of the Cholas, a civilization whose greatest strength was found not in monuments, but in the harmony between nature, tradition, and community. And as evening settled gently across Thanjavur, another peaceful day came to a close. The river continued to flow, the lamps began to glow, and the story of this remarkable civilization carried on beneath the timeless skies of southern India. As another day draws peacefully to a close over Thanjavur, the Chola homeland rests beneath the evening sky, its rivers still flowing, its fields gently swaying, and its timeless traditions continues.